Hello, everybody. Ryan Carpenter here with P45 Knuckle Down Golf and No BS Golf coming to you at the YouTube. That's right, the old YouTube. Boy, do we talk about this product a lot. But you know what? It can be beneficial too, but you just got to do it the right way. But we are the number one destination for everything golf right here in Central Georgia. That's right, Warner Robins, Houston County, whichever you want to go with. We got it all here. You ain't got to go nowhere. Me and my partners, the Golf Pub, of course, providing you with the best place possible. When they're not there entertaining you folk, which is the best part about what they do. They are the entertainment of this area by far. But when they're not there, I turn that into a GolfTEC. And that's the subject of today's conversation. What is GolfTEC? That's right. I have been having this conversation a lot because I've had a slew of new students all of a sudden show up at the front door. And we have a whole huge new batch of players moving forward with their golf development and instruction and learning and everything we're doing. And so it brings me to that topic because I tend to go there. One of the first things I ask players is, what is GolfTEC, or have you heard of it? And they haven't. And so that's it's an important thing to cover. And so why not go ahead and dive into it? And so GolfTEC started about 1995. There were a couple fellas at a country club, more or less, that decided, plain and simple, they said, we're just not doing it right. And we need to elevate not only the instruction and the offering and the platform, we need to increase the developmental aspect, not just time, but how to proper, processes and things. And so it all came about based off that. They actually started under a company called Driving Obsessions. I actually have a video for those of you old enough like me, because I know you young people don't understand. VHS cassette, it's a little thing you would put it in and stuff would pop up on the television screen, except we had the big tube screens back then. Anyhow, I have one of the original Mike Clinton lesson videos with a fella that I ended up actually teaching for a little while when I first joined GolfTEC. And, I don't know, I guess I got there rough estimate 03 maybe. Was probably my first year. And so at that point, they only had about 17 locations, I think, opened. And now we got, 200 plus retail locations worldwide. GolfTEC teaches more than 1 million lessons annually. Currently has locations in the U.S., Canada, China, Japan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. And let me tell you, what took 20 years to do in the U.S., it took like 6 months, and it blew up in Asia. There's a reason for that. But let's see, the base idea, purpose was to simply create the best learning environment possible. And that's really what I do when I get there. It is not a bar, as some idiot in this state likes to call it. He's a moron. And it is a simply development facility. It is the place to use to our advantage. And the whole key is, and for anyone that has this idea that you can't learn, first of all, the best top golf instructors in the world talk about all the time how they go inside on purpose all the time. So you're literally saying that the best instructors on the face of the earth right now in the United States don't know what they're doing. Butch Harmon, whoever, Haney, just come up with a name. I don't care. Ledbetter, whatever. They all have indoor facilities that they take their players into all the time. And you're going to tell me that it doesn't work. It can't happen. And besides the fact I've been doing it for the last 20 years anyways. And I've had, we have 7, 8 new students right here in this area from last year that are now experiencing their best golf of their life by a lot, not a little, by a large margin, because they spent last year working inside. So the idea is that we can take players and build them into a process and a comfort zone around that process that literally elevates not only just that. So there's a level of higher learning that's involved in the lesson itself, but then with the lesson, the time they spend actually trying to truly change and develop the skills that we know they need to get to where they can produce these results they're seeking, the facility becomes the best effective place to learn that stuff before we go outside. Of course, we go outside at some point. Did anyone ever look into how it works when you go to a GolfTEC or if you come to me? No, the naysayers are just going to put up their freaking arms in the air and go, I've never seen this before. This might be wrong. No, it's not true. And have you tried it is what I always want to say. Have you done it? Then you don't know what you're talking about first. So it's a series of processes that we go through specifically to get to where we want to be able to effectively do the things we want to do outdoors with these players. And so you can't magically get a player to learn how to hit certain shots or positions and understand until they've gained the skills necessary to get there. You can't just magically create that. I mean, you can maybe like one time here and there on a golf course, trick them into maybe getting something, but that's the key here. It's a trick. It's not a development. It's not a change that lasts a lifetime. It's just tricking into action, and that only works, and it doesn't. And I use the Haney side, and he knows better. He's trying to make his living. That's fine, but he yells out on the screen, "I'll fix you in 5 seconds," and he sort of does, right? But it's what he leaves out is, well, what about the weekend when the player's on their own and they didn't really develop anything? What happens then? Does it go awry? Yeah, it does. And he says, well, yeah, I didn't tell you the rest on purpose. You got to come on down to the Haney Ranch if you want to make it this like a long lasting and change your handicap by 10 shots and so on and so forth. So that's the problem. It's you're gonna get to the point where understanding that the tricks aren't the fix, and the fixes do take a specific process. So GolfTEC is one of by far by its basic set of principles the best. Well, it's the largest teaching company in the world by far. I mean, I walked out of there. I did about 2,000 plus lessons every year I was there for a reason, because the tools were amazing. And you got to know how to use the tools. You got to know how to run the tools, and that's the thing. And that's where I'm getting to here at this stage is I want to get to the point where I can find somebody who wants to teach and start to tell them and show them how to do this process, because I'll be honest, my lesson book is getting maxed out, and I'm finding it hard to find more open times for folks. I'm going to need an apprentice at some point. So I need to, if you want to teach golf, let me know. And if you want to do it in a different way, I leave every player with this at the end of the evaluation, 2 key things. How you put it together, it's up to you when they look at the lesson options. Second, as long as you understand that this is a process that does take some time, and as long as you will go through the process correctly and follow the prescription, if you will, the advice that we give specifically to help you, then I can guarantee success. And I told all these 7 or 8 players last year, if you do things right, it's going to happen. Funny thing, last night, ran into a couple guys that I randomly kind of ran into, and we got to chatting a whole bunch and all hitting balls. Anyways, long story short, one of the guys was very new, and could easily at least realize and said, look, it's like this. I can't get the ball in the air at all. And I said, well, yeah. And I said, I can show you something, but I can't guarantee the success that's going to come. You might have a little bit better, and I showed him one of the more important things about understanding how the club should kind of come and impact, and the basic ideas of how to sort of maneuver the face a little. And, and it was weird at first, like it always is. But I left him with that, and it seemed to be working at least a little bit better there at the moment in time. And he was kind of happier. And I said, "Oh, great. Well, there you go. Free lesson. Happy day. Good luck to you. And maybe we'll meet someday." And sure enough, ran into him last night, and he said, that tip was freaking awesome. And I said, well, that's good. I'm glad. It doesn't always go that way. Unfortunately, it can go the other way and not be better, but it could be worse even sometimes. And he said, no, it's to the tune of, I'm like 8 shots better. Now, granted, this was a 130 shooter. So 130 to 120 is, an improvement, of course, however, but the bigger part is that, his viewpoint of the output was so much grander than the numbers itself. Which that's cool, but all I did was trick him into delivering the club, on a better path and face and impact. And it wasn't a development style. I took what I knew to be true and I switched it around enough and tried to find a way for him to kind of look at me and go, well, if I said this, and showed him, and it was a trick. And in a bad, especially bad golfers, they're easy to trick. You can trick them in the kind of, I didn't do this, but I'm not going to tell you why, and I'm not going to show it to you, and we're not going to develop it. And I know that game too, and I'm a pretty good trickster if I have to be. I don't want to be. I tell them flat out, I'm like, this is not the ideal way to get better, but this might, give you an idea of something you could do. And it's not. So, the GolfTEC way is the way to do it. And unfortunately, in an area like this, if I remember correctly, the franchise, why aren't they there? Here, somebody said, well, the problem is expensive build. You get just into the high speed cameras they got running 24/7 in those bays, and that alone plus the rest of the it's an expensive buy-in. It takes a long time to recoup the ROA too, because there's a lot of investors like, man, I can go elsewhere. And so I believe, if I remember correctly, it was like 1 million people within a 30-mile square radius, something like that, to even have the conversation of franchising and qualify for the idea of doing it now. Or the other one, now I know under the franchise, which from what I understand, they've kind of stopped that and even have been retaking back store ownership to the corporate side. So who knows why, but anyways, you might have been able to take the chance if you wanted to take it to your hometown. But I think that has passed. I don't think that exists anymore. And so that's the problem. But that again, it always boils down to is this. We're doing things. We've got another new player tonight. I just signed up 9 in the last 6 days. And they're all, not everybody, most of them are moving forward. And it's a good thing because the thing about around here, which is funny, is I have people coming to me once a week from over an hour away because in their areas, they've already tried everything they tried up there. And they said, I didn't get nothing out of it, didn't get nowhere. And they're already incredibly happy with what we're doing right now. And I said, that's how it goes. I mean, sometimes you got to drive to find what you need and hit and want. So, but it's, we're lots of fun stuff's going on and getting a lot of players with, real commitment that are coming in the door, and we're knocking down barriers eventually. So it's fun. So if you want to be a part of that, I have a couple days left on the master sale. It's an extra discount on top of the already discounted price list. And, the evaluation is just 50% off period. If you just want to get that only, you can. So it is what it is. But that's GolfTEC in a nutshell. And I want people to understand, it's not what people think. It's not what people understand. And why should you? It's why I used to do free demos all the time. I said, look, I can't explain this on a phone. I can't explain this on a website. And the same thing for what I'm doing with the people right now at the golf pub. You're not going to understand until you come in and at least meet with me and see it with your own eyes and experience what it's all about. I don't mind. I'll meet you up there if you want to. That's totally easy to do. Or at least get on the phone and I can try to walk you through and explain it. But sending an inquiry via website just doesn't do anything. I can't explain to you in a typing. Here's how the process works. It doesn't. it doesn't translate properly. You gotta. The best way is to truly see, feel, and understand how it all works first. That's the best way, and then the last is to then move into the evaluation and see what the future holds. Man, it's my no sleep's catching up with me over the past week. So, yeah. So, anyways, there it is, and check out everything that's going on with my partners, the golf pub up there. It's getting hot. You don't like the hot? Me? Thank you. I'll be inside. No gnats. Woo-hoo. Drinks, sporting events, baseball going on, everything else that's coming up. Best place to be right now. Best and only true entertainment destination right now in the Warner Robins area. I know y'all say there's a couple others, but not really. So, but yeah, that's it for today. And if you have questions about that at all, let me know. Yeah, would love to have feedback for sure. So, and then in the normal Instagram, Twitter, the Facebook, all the stuff. And then obviously P45 Knuckle Down Golf at gmail.com. That'll be it for today, folks. I got to move on. Lessons to teach. Y'all have a good one. Take care.